So we finally got this thing set up. I did it by Brail. Doesn't look the greatest, and I kind of think I want to put another cleat right there. Alright, so the tap test, all I can hear is the hardware up top tapping. So I ran both these X braces with a little bit of glue. I couldn't see anything I was doing, so I got really sticky yesterday, but I didn't trip any down, so that worked out pretty good. Yeah, so, and Frank Luthierie. And then today we're going to fill in this top with some sawdust and chips. Right here, we got some dust, little chips, big chips, and some sticks, but we don't need that anymore. And then I'm going to put my jig that I made back in here and support this top while I'm doing my bridge work. And then I have another jig, this hardware and a piece of wood with some holes. This hardware is going to go through the 10 holes and bolt it down. And then I got 2 feet that's in the jig that's going to push down on these tabs on the outside as well. So we're about to get a rough finish in here, fill this hole that got dug out before I got here. What else? Oh, I did the bridge yesterday, filled it in. I gotta sand it down too before I put it on here. And then once this all dries, I gotta sand it down. So I'm gonna take some lining tape, pinstripe tape, and go around all of this and get it to where I'm not gonna ruin this finish. And hopefully by the end of today we will have placed the bridge in the jig, let it cure for like at least 3 days. I'm not touching it, and then I'll peel the jig off of there, and we should have a brand new bridge on here. And as far as the belly up, I got most of it. So when the bridge was pulling this way, this had a bulge from like here to here, and I've been able to account for that when I put my jig together to tighten the bracing. I didn't clamp it, I put a friction jig. Piece of wood goes this way in front of the brace on the backboard. So here's the brace, here's my piece of wood, space, and here's our other brace. I laid a piece of wood on top of this brace. This piece of wood in front of this brace is taller, so it creates an inclined plane, and I set that up to where my post for my jig, you can see this marks the line of that brace. So I set that post up about right here. Here's our X right there. The post was set up right here. This was our worst break. But if I put all the pressure here, it would take care of the rest of the pressure needed for back here, because that wasn't too bad. And it's just the way all the grains ran. So it just worked out pretty good that it was still attached down here. It was separated up here. That's what I did for it. So if anybody's working on some bracing, don't get too scared. Just get you 3 pieces of wood. That's all I used. So the brace was right here on the backboard. braces right here on the backboard. I laid this on the front brace, laid that on this board so it's not touching this brace, and then I stuck this on here, and it goes up. So the further up it goes, the more tension, well, taller it gets. And then once you get to it, you set it like that, and that's a friction fit. You can see how the angles change. And that's what I did for my jig. Looks like we did a pretty good job. I'm gonna set the jig back in there before I start working the bridge. And I'm excited to play this. It'll be like 3 more days.